Let me tell you about a type of person you rarely meet, but when you do, you feel their presence immediately, not because they are loud, but because of the quiet force of their distance. These are the people who hate people, not in a dramatic, angry, villainous way, not the kind you see shouting on a street corner, but in a deep, settled, almost resigned way. They carry a natural aversion to human interaction, and it's more complicated than anger, more intricate than dislike. It often begins slowly, a series of small betrayals, disappointments, subtle betrayals of trust. Maybe someone lied to them as a child. Maybe a friend abandoned them when it mattered most. Maybe they just learned early on that human beings are unpredictable, fragile, and, in their view, often selfish. And over time, this small seed grows, not overnight, but quietly, like a shadow extending across the floor as the day ends. They don't hate people for the sake of hating. They hate the pretense. They hate the small cruelties and the careless kindness that is often just attention disguised as control. They see through the rituals of society, the handshakes, the polite laughter, the empty compliments, and it exhausts them. Human interaction for them is rarely genuine, and the gap between reality and the performance is too wide to ignore. It's tempting to imagine someone who hates people as bitter or lonely, but that's rarely the full story. Some of these people are calm, collected, even successful. They navigate the world with skill, choosing when to engage and when to withdraw. It's not hatred that drives them into isolation, but a deep, enduring skepticism of connection. They've learned that the cost of trust often outweighs the reward. Many of them have a code they follow internally, a set of quiet rules that governs their social life. They may interact, but selectively. They may care, but on their own terms. To the outside world, it looks like indifference. But beneath the surface, there is a complex map of caution, judgment, and reflection. Every person they meet is measured, weighed, and filed away. And the mistakes of the past, the betrayals, the shallow smiles, the whispers of envy are never far from their mind. This psychology is rooted in both experience and temperament. Some are naturally introverted, sensitive to social noise. Some are highly observant, noticing patterns that others overlook, the hidden agendas, the manipulations, the microaggressions that slip past polite society. For these people are unpredictable forces, often irrational, sometimes cruel, and always flawed. And so, they build walls not to punish the world, but to protect themselves. It's easy to mistake them for misanthropes, people who hate humanity broadly. But it's more accurate to see them as realists in a sense. They are aware of human fragility, human selfishness, human error. They notice how often promises are broken, how often words are weaponized, how often kindness is conditional, and it leaves a residue, a quiet, persistent reluctance to engage. There is a paradox here. People who hate people often crave understanding, even connection, but only in a form that is safe. They may gravitate toward animals, art, nature, anything that offers consistency and honesty. A dog doesn't lie. A tree doesn't betray. A painting doesn't judge. And in these spaces, they find a version of the world that doesn't hurt them. Some psychologists call this pattern selective social aversion. It's not a clinical diagnosis, but it describes the mechanism. They avoid people who drain energy, who manipulate, who cause unnecessary drama. Their hatred isn't mindless, it's strategic. It's an emotional firewall, a survival tool honed over years of observation. Yet, this aversion has consequences. Isolation can harden the heart. Cynicism can become the lens through which they see every interaction. They risk missing beauty, the small, unpredictable kindnesses, the fleeting moments of empathy, the rare people who are authentic and generous. But often, the cost of being hurt again is too high, and the risk outweighs the potential reward. You may wonder, can someone like this change? Can someone who hates people learn to trust? The answer is yes, but slowly, and always cautiously. It usually takes one remarkable human being to break through the armor. Not someone who is perfect, but someone consistent. Someone whose actions match their words. Someone whose presence feels safe over time. And even then, the shift is subtle, like light breaking through a cracked window. So, the psychology of people who hate people is not simple. It's not just anger, bitterness, or social awkwardness. It's the result of deep observation, disappointment, sensitivity, and self-protection. It's an ongoing negotiation between the desire for human connection and the fear of human pain. And while it may appear harsh to outsiders, it is, at its core, a form of survival. Understanding this person requires patience and empathy, but also honesty. Don't try to force connection or argue with their worldview. Recognize that their boundaries are both real and necessary. Respect the space they carve out, and you may find, in rare moments, glimpses of profound humanity that most people never see. They remind us that human interaction is not always effortless, and that sometimes the safest place is within oneself. And in that quiet self-containment, there is a strange dignity. A recognition of the world as it is, unpolished, unfiltered, and often disappointing. And in acknowledging that, they have preserved something many of us lose in the noise of society: clarity, perspective, and strangely, a form of freedom. So, the next time you meet someone who seems cold, distant, or even a little harsh, pause. They are not heartless. They are cautious, observant, and wise in ways that are rarely understood. Their hatred of people is not about contempt, it's about survival. And in the spaces where most of us flounder, they have found their own way to navigate a complicated world.